What's up, guys? Rant Rolling, man. This is a bike review video of my Cannondale Trail SL 29-inch single speed mountain bike. I bought this bike because there's a lot of hills in the area, and I just wanted a simple bike that I could work on that didn't have gears. And so far, this bike doesn't disappoint. I've absolutely done zero maintenance other than lube the chain and the hubs. That's all I've done to this bike since I've had it, with the exception of changing out the tires. They came with mountain bike knobbies, Ralph Racing to be exact, Ralph Racing tires. And I just put a brand new pair of thick slicks on these. And so far I'm liking the thick slicks. They grip the road really well. They actually give a more supple ride than the knobbies do. And of course, your rolling resistance is much better, allow you to ride a little faster and a little easier. But the only thing about the thick slicks up here is that they don't have any type of tread on them. So there's a lot of, dirt roads and gravel roads and things like that. And now there's ice on the ground. So I'm going to take it out here in a little bit. Probably make a separate video. I don't know. I'll see how long this one records. Of riding the bike. Actually, I'm gonna give this bike away at some point in the near future because it's a little small for me. I bought it because I got a deal on it. I bought it brand new. I've had it about, I'd say, 4 years. Have I ridden it 4 years worth? No. This bike is lightly ridden. No wheeling or anything like that on this bike. It's been on the trail, a light trail work, but mostly street riding on the knobbies until I just put these thick slicks on. The only other thing I did was I went to Walmart and bought me a more comfortable seat because the stock seat was bone hard. And if you're going to do any distance on this bike, you need something a little more supple because this bike is also a rigid. I forgot to mention, no rear suspension, no suspension fork. And the reason that is because I also wanted a bike that was lightweight to go up the hills. And this bike, I had them weigh it in the bike shop, just as you see it now, with the exception of the stock seat. And the bike weighed 24 pounds. All right. So I thought about putting a motor on this bike. I think I'm just going to give it away to somebody young and a little smaller than me that get more enjoyment out of it. Maybe they'll turn it into a wheelie bike. This bike is very similar to these collective C100 bikes. The only difference is the C100s have gears. Other than that, I really don't see the difference between those bikes and this bike, other than the C100s come with a suspension fork, but you could easily upgrade this and put a suspension fork on this. So so far the bike was, I would say, $1,000 brand new at the time. This bike is about 6 years old because I bought it as a leftover model, brand new, but it was in the bike shop probably 2 years. So it's probably about 6 years old. Zero issues. Zero issues, I must say, with this Cannondale. The only issue that I would have, and they said this in the online reviews of this bike, is that the cranks are a little weak. I'm a bigger guy, 250. And when you're a bigger, heavier guy putting all that pressure on the pedals, they're not as rigid as some aftermarket cranks and pedals would be. But that's about my only complaint about this bike. Oh, one other thing. The gearing is really for off-road. The one thing I would do, whoever gets this bike, is I would swap out the rear sprocket and get something a little smaller. And also, you're going to have to either cut the chain, take some links off, or get a new chain, just so you can get a little bit more top end, because it's really geared really low for the trail. Other than that, this bike has performed flawlessly, perfectly. It was definitely worth the money. And I'll see if I can get some footage riding it here. I rigged up some type of little phone holder mount here. And let's see if we can get going with some footage here.